going on, guys? It is Rinne-Hatake here, back with another video. And as you can see, we are gonna do What If Goku Had Unlimited Potential, the movie. Okay, because I did put up a YouTube shorts on what I should do for this What If, because this What If is getting the most attention. So I decided to, put up a little vote for you guys. And you guys commented hashtag movie. So I'll be doing What If Goku Had Unlimited Potential, the movie. So before we start though, I am gonna say I'm gonna start this off. I'm not gonna say the exact same things I've said in the last 3 parts. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit more improved, but we finally begin. So, in the age 736, there was a Saiyan child that was born, and that child would be known as Kakarot, but to most of us, we know him as Son Goku. But when Kakarot was born, a great divine being interfered with his birth, giving him the ability to have unlimited potential, and that being himself would be Zeno, since Zeno had saw mortals fighting and he got bored of just staying in his palace basically. So he decided he wanted to have a rival that would rival his power, and he chose the young Saiyan child Kakarot. And Bardock would still have his suspicions about Frieza destroying planet Vegeta, and his visions would actually come true, and Kakarot would be sent to Earth just like normal. And that would still happen. And Vegeta was off planet, so was Raditz and Nappa, so they didn't actually know what happened. But they had a bit of a suspicion that it was Frieza, not an asteroid. So that's that. Kakarot landed on Earth. His not stepdad, but his adopted father, basically Grandpa Gohan, basically took care of him for most of his life, and then Kakarot basically had most of his adventures. But the big difference here is Goku, because his name was changed. Goku had incredible potential. He grew way faster than any martial artist that Grandpa Gohan ever known or seen. He's even more stronger than Master Roshi at this point. And Goku is still pretty young at this point. And he'd run into Bulma and have the adventures that they had in canon. But Kakarot or Goku would be way stronger and would defeat those villains that they fought much easier, and it wouldn't take too much time. And over that time, he's become exponentially stronger, probably being the same strong as Raditz in the Saiyan Saga, basically. He's that strong already. And Piccolo, the Demon King Piccolo, still tried to do his thing, and I'm pretty sure I didn't cover this in the first part of this What If, but now I will. Well, he demolished King Piccolo. It wasn't even a challenge. And then his reincarnation came in. Piccolo and Kakarot did train with Kami, eventually becoming even stronger. And he soon, right now, after he trained with Kami and he did the martial arts tournament, beating Jackie Chan and also beating Tien Shinhan in the second martial arts tournament. And he has traveled around the world because he was searching for the Dragon Balls. And he did get married with Chi-Chi. And yeah, he did get married to Chi-Chi, but not yet, since we're gonna move on to the third martial arts tournament. And well, Kakarot's Goku is exponentially stronger now. So after training with Kami, he's at about the level of 5,500. That's a pretty high power level, but still, he's 5,500. Still weaker than Vegeta, but still very strong. So he became strong and still won the tournament like normal. And he also met Chi-Chi again. He had met her before, but he forgot, since really infinite potential won't change her knowledge and everything. So Goku would still have his awkward reaction when Chi-Chi says that she promised to be he promised to be her bride and stuff. That still stays the exact same. And soon after, well, they had Gohan, and they were gonna go have a little bit of a reunion with the other Z fighters until Raditz came in, and Raditz tried to take Gohan by force, but Kakarot fought him and was easily, easily demolishing Raditz. It wasn't even a contest at this point. Kakarot swung a big kick straight towards Raditz's face, knocking him out. But before I move on, Gohan is actually much stronger in this time around, since Kakarot traveled around the world and Kakarot exposed him. Goku exposed him to many, martial arts. And Chi-Chi kind of approved of this, so they went around the world traveling, and Gohan could get to see the world and study while he was doing martial arts, so Chi-Chi didn't really have a problem with it. At first she did, but now she doesn't. And Gohan actually is much stronger. He's about the same level as himself in the Saiyan Saga. And he still has his goals of being a scholar, but he is more stronger than his canon self in the Saiyan Saga. And the Saiyan Saga is pretty simple to defeat, since Goku trained the rest of the Z fighters and his son and became much stronger, making it to the power level. Well, he trained them, and then also asked Kami if there was anyone else he can train with, and King Kai was mentioned. I'm pretty sure I've never mentioned Goku using Kaioken, but Goku went to King Kai's planet to train, and the Z fighters also came along. Piccolo also came along too, and most of them learned Kaioken. Gohan and Goku, though, they're the only ones who have actual great control with Kaioken, and due to this training, Goku is exponentially higher than he was before. Now, becoming now reaching the level of, let's say, at about 75,000. Okay, 75,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good to start off with. With Kaioken, he has the ability to use times 10. Gohan has times 5, since he does have his great potential and all, but this is a very draining technique, and he doesn't have the same experience training it as Goku does. But they all have their training, and they head back to Earth. And Vegeta and Nappa were taken out pretty easily, but they needed to head to Namek. Well, I don't really know why they need to head to Namek, because right now no one actually got killed, but Vegeta told them about Frieza, and Kakarot or Goku got a bit curious, so that's why they're going to Namek. Not really to find the Dragon Balls, but if need be, they will find them to stop Frieza from gaining his wish of immortality. So, basically, Goku asked Bulma to make them a ship, and that still happened, and this time the ship would be much larger, so it can house all the Z fighters in it. It also had a gravity chamber because Goku requested this, and they were off to space. Gohan also came along. Chi-Chi, yet again, very reluctant, but still allowed it this time. And they did train, and Goku improved exponentially through this gravity training. Before, in canon or the anime, he basically was at the power level of over 9,000, and after the training, like a month or so of training in the gravity chamber, made it to over 180,000. That's a pretty big boost. So I'd say after the whole month that they had to train, he'd be about the power level of 5 not 500,000. I'm gonna say 750,000. Right? 750,000 at this point. And the rest of the Z fighters would make about the power level of 100,000. Tien Shinhan at 150. Krillin close behind at 135. And Yamcha would be at 130. And, that's basically the only humans that came along, since Yajirobe didn't want to join, and, well, Chaozu didn't want to join either. So, yeah. And Gohan and Piccolo are, like, the closest to Goku. But Piccolo's above Gohan, but Piccolo's at a power level of 250,000. Gohan close behind at 225,000. And this training is pretty beneficial. And with a strong training partner like Goku, they definitely make it to about this strong. So they finally arrived at Namek, and they basically saw a bit of the fodder Frieza characters, or not Frieza characters, but Frieza soldiers, so they took them down pretty easily and saved some of the Namekians. Piccolo saw them, had a little bit of an interaction with them, but besides that, nothing really changes. And, well, Frieza called the Ginyu Force, and also Vegeta was on this planet too, because he escaped and he killed Nappa just like normal, so none of that really changes. But that's that, basically. So, well, Vegeta had his same interactions finding Dragon Balls. So did Frieza, basically. None of this would really change, but since Goku arrived with the rest of the Z Fighters, this would actually change a lot more things. Since, well, Frieza would have to call in the Ginyu Force early, and the Ginyu Force would try to deal with the Z Fighters. But, well, most of the Z Fighters would actually be able to knock them down pretty easily. They would knock out Jay, and then Birder, and next that guy who beat down Vegeta, and basically the guy with the orange hair, basically, the guy who beat down Vegeta, yeah, they beat that guy pretty easily too. And then the guy with the telekinesis powers, basically, was probably one of the most challenging ones out there. But with Yamcha's Spirit Ball, he just blasted him into oblivion. So there's no more of that guy. But Ginyu was still left, and he fought Goku, and it wasn't even much of a challenge, as Goku knocked him straight across the face, sending him into a mountain. But Goku wasn't expecting Ginyu to actually throw a blast, and Goku kind of thought that this was a key attack, so he basically put up one hand to block it, but what he didn't know was a body changing technique. Basically, they switched bodies, and Ginyu yelled out, "Change now!" And they changed and switched bodies, and Goku was surprised. Gohan had his reminiscence of what he saw if they couldn't get Goku his body back, and he got pretty terrified. But Ginyu is much stronger in Goku's body, but he doesn't know how to use his power like before. And, well, Goku gets beaten down, and Vegeta comes in, but to be honest, I don't think Vegeta can actually defeat them, so all of the Z Fighters chime in and actually beat down Goku pretty badly. Last time, in part 1, I'm pretty sure, I said that Vegeta gave Goku a beating. And, yeah, that, I did say that, but if you think about it, Vegeta doesn't have that power, even in the Namek Saga, so I'd tell you that Vegeta is weaker than most of the Z Fighters at this point, so there's not really much of a point to that. And Vegeta is probably the weakest out of them all right now, at the power level of 30,000, and I know that's lower than even Krillin and Yamcha. Yeah, the humans are much stronger, but Ginyu actually beat down, Vegeta pretty hard, making him close to death, which, if you know, Zenkais are big boosts, which give you incredible power. And, they knocked Vegeta out cold, almost to death. Gohan had a little bit of a rage boost with seeing his father. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I apologize. With seeing his father, I apologize for saying it like that, but seeing his father get his body stolen, and that really ticked him off, so he started fighting, and Piccolo joined in, and soon all the Z Fighters did, and they managed to overpower Ginyu because Ginyu doesn't know how to awaken Goku's true power. So he gets knocked out, and Ginyu was only limited to the power, since Goku was suppressed when he fought Ginyu, only to the power level of about 180,000. Yeah, Goku was suppressed to using 180,000 power. That's basic. His base is 200,000, so he's like suppressed a bit, but not by much. So that's what Ginyu was limited to. So he couldn't really do much with that, and he got beaten down. And Goku would still get his big Zenkai, and they found one of the Frieza ships and basically put Goku in one of the healing chambers. And they also decided to help out Vegeta because Krillin remembered when he tried to kill Vegeta and Goku told him to stop and say that, Goku had his speech and everything, and Krillin remembered that, so he kept that to heart and actually helped Vegeta out, and Vegeta got a Zenkai, making a big boost since he almost died, to about the power level, increasing his power actually, increasing it to the power level of, I'd say about the power level of just behind Gohan, 200,000. Yeah, just behind Gohan. So yeah, once Goku was healed, which took a little bit, and Piccolo suggested the idea of collecting the Dragon Balls with the Dragon Radar, and Bulma was also... No, Bulma wasn't there. They had the Dragon Radar, and they knew how to use it, so Bulma wouldn't be needed. So basically, they started collecting the Dragon Balls, and Vegeta was still in the chamber, and Yamcha and Tien stayed behind to make sure that nothing bad happens. And Piccolo and Gohan managed to find themselves in the area of, well, the Elder Namekian's place. And Nail was there guarding the Elder of the village, basically eldest Namekian, and the eldest Namekian basically unlocked Gohan's potential, and since Gohan had enormous potential, unlike Goku, he has a limit to his potential since he doesn't really have infinite potential or unlimited potential, but his potential in canon is insane. Catching up to Goku using ultimate form, not even God Ki, is impressive. So Gohan would have his potential awakened, but it's not ultimate since the Elder Namekian can only unlock a little bit of his potential since it would take a long time to awaken all of it. So Gohan would still get his power boost, boosting his power level to a decent 300,000. And Piccolo got his potential awakened, boosting it to about 325, just above Gohan by a little bit. But that's that, and Goku and Vegeta finally woke up from their chambers, and, well, Vegeta basically gets out of the chamber and starts looking around and sees Yamcha and Tien ready and guarded, and he sees Goku come out of the chamber too, and his power level skyrockets. Alright, 75 million, skyrockets to that. Why? Because Gohan had a rage boost, everyone legit started wailing on Ginyu, and they beat him till he was closer to death than Vegeta, which is why he got the basically a boost, 10 times Zenkai boost, basically, since his max was 750,000. Times that by 10 would be 75 million, I'd say. Yeah, 75 million. So, it wouldn't be too surprising. And Frieza can sense Goku's power, and Goku went outside, and Vegeta also came with him. He wasn't like looking to team up with them, but they needed to defeat Frieza. And Frieza, well, he landed and he saw Goku standing outside the ship with Vegeta and two humans. And Frieza started saying, "So, you are that Son Goku that Vegeta was speaking about. Okay, so let me test your power. Saiyan Monkey," as he dashes towards Goku. And he throws a punch, but Goku catches it easily, basically crushing Frieza's fist as he knocks him back with a kick to the skull, sending him into multiple mountains. And Goku wasn't then there. He fires up a Kamehameha wave that gets launched towards him. And I almost forgot to cover a bit of the training that they did. And Goku did say in the first part that he mastered but was able to master the Ozaru form. There it is. I said it properly this time. The Ozaru form. And he did. He did it on King Kai's planet. And he managed to control it. And Gohan, he didn't manage to control it yet. So it's because he still has a lot of rage stored up within him. So that's why Gohan can't really control it. But Goku can. And he figured out a humanoid version, which is the Ikari form, or the Wrathful form. I'll just call it Ikari form, because why not? But he basically has his Ikari form, and he has not Super Saiyan just yet, but he also has Kaioken times 20 due to his training, so that's a pretty big multiplier if you think about it. With the Ikari form, his power level exceeds even Canon Goku's Super Saiyan power in the Namek Saga, basically. Because Goku's power level in the Namek Saga at Super Saiyan would be about 150 million. But if you stack 75 million with the Ikari, which is a 10 times multiplier, it would be at the power level of 750 million, which is pretty broken. Stacking times 10, which would be pretty straining, would dominate and make it to about, I'd say, that'll be a power level of 75 billion. Wow. I'd think 75 billion, which would be insane. Stacking 20 on that, don't even get me started. Goku's OP and broken, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he basically just fought Frieza in his base form for now, and I'm not gonna let him go into using the Ikari with Kaioken just yet. But he fought Frieza, and Frieza was getting dominated, entering his final form immediately, and still gets dominated, finally entering his final form at full power. And Goku, he was getting a little pushed back, but besides that, he was having no trouble. And finally enters the Ikari form, 750 million, destroys Frieza, absolutely massacres him, and he got destroyed pretty easily. But Frieza, before he goes, basically shot a blast towards the humans, and the humans, well, Tien knocks Yamcha out the way, and he gets hit with a death beam straight through the chest, and Tien died. He died basically because Frieza shot a beam straight through his chest, and that would enrage Goku. Since Goku isn't really friends with Tien that much, he still cares about them because they're friends, but not close friends. But you know what I mean. They're like not best friends like Krillin, but friends, and that still angered him and pushed him to go to Super Saiyan. Okay, he's in Super Saiyan now. He's enraged at Super Saiyan. His power could be felt throughout the whole planet. And, can you guys do the math? 75 million times 50. Okay, times 50. Can you guys do the math? Basically, the math would be 75 million times 10 would be basically 750 million, like I said. Times that by 5. Oh, that's a hefty power level. That's a very, very high power level. His power level would be off the charts. In Super Saiyan, he'd rock Frieza with one punch and he'd be gone. So that basically ends the Namek saga, and they summoned Porunga, and they basically wished for everyone who was killed by Frieza to be revived, and then for their second wish, wishing for the Elder Namekian to be to have his youth restored, and the youth of basically the Elder Namekian would come back to him, and he'd be the same age as Piccolo now, because he's at his youth. He'd grow his muscles back and become incredibly stronger, which would enhance basically Porunga and his wishing abilities. And for the third wish, Goku, well, he let the humans or someone else ask for this wish, and Vegeta doesn't want immortality now that he sees this type of power in its Super Saiyan, so they just wished to, well, create a new place, create a new Namek, and that place is New Namek, basically. They made a new planet because they wished Porunga to make a place called New Namek and make sure it's very hidden, so they have a New Namek already. And the Namekians would have ships, so the Namekians who were revived would get ready and be sent off to New Namek. And the Elder Namekian, well, he basically gathered all the Dragon Balls in his ship and was, waved goodbye, and everyone said goodbye to the Namekians, and boom, they were off to New Namek. And basically, this leaves an empty planet, which could be used as a training ground, basically. But who knows? Maybe I might, maybe I won't. But we move from that, and Goku arrives. Well, he doesn't arrive straight away, but since Goku heard, basically, he felt some strange energy on this weird-looking planet, so he decides to tell everyone on the ship that they should head down there. And yes, this is Yardrat, and they learned the Yardrat's basically cool abilities, instant transmissions, spirit vision, and gathering ki and making some cool OP moves. Yeah, they have all of that. And Goku trained that for a year. Everyone else did as well. And Vegeta actually managed to not gain Super Saiyan, but managed to become stronger, making it to the power level of 1 million. But with the Yardrat training, increasing that with all the Zenkais at about 2.5 million, Gohan close behind at 2 million, and Piccolo and the rest. Piccolo's at 1 million. The rest of the humans would get a massive power boost. Since they have these new cool techniques, they'd be at about 350,000. Tien, still ahead of everyone, would be at about 400,000. While Krillin, very close behind this time, 385,000. Yamcha, scoring behind at 350. So they're all getting massive boosts at this point. And they head back to Earth, and they have a ship basically that would take them there. And they do have instant transmission, and they just use that instead since they sensed that King Cold was coming to Earth, and they used instant transmission to sense his power. Well, they sensed a big power up since Trunks was there, so they teleported, and Goku was in his Yardrat uniform, so was everyone else. Gohan's a lot older, not by much, but a bit older, and that's that, basically. And Trunks still had the same interaction with Goku, saying that he's basically Vegeta and Bulma's kid. But the thing is, since Vegeta was in an Earth, they didn't really have that much of an interaction. So Goku widens his eyes, thinking that if he never asked them to go to Yardrat, then maybe their relationship would start very soon. And Goku, well, he was pretty shocked by this, and Piccolo heard everything, so he's just gonna keep that a secret to himself. Um, and Trunks still fought Goku, and Goku turning into Super Saiyan would basically make the whole world, basically the whole Earth, shake with his tremendous power. And Trunks can sense it. His power is so immense. He doesn't know what to say. And well, let me ask you something. Well, if I gave Goku the ability to use Ikari on top of Super Saiyan, which would mean that would be a 500 times multiplier. If you think about it, 50 times 10, 500 times multiplier with Kaioken times 20, that would be pretty broken. So, yeah, hopefully none of that happens. But this is OP Goku, so probably will happen. So, they still had the same interactions, and Goku, well, stayed on Earth, and he was warned about the heart virus. So they went into the hyperbolic time chamber to basically train, and Vegeta would train a lot. He would train for like a day. I did say that Trunks would stay and train, but right now the androids weren't out yet, so he went back to his own timeline. I'm just changing a lot of things here, but still. Well, Goku trained with Gohan, and Gohan, I did say he didn't learn Super Saiyan, but this time I'm gonna say that Goku and Gohan had 2 days in there, which is 2 years, and Goku managed to master Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan Grade 4 had immense power, and if you think about it, Jiro was watching everything. Well, so that means if Goku had that power, Jiro would be watching with his drones, and they would take samples of Goku's DNA, which means Cell would have infinite. No, I'm just joking. He wouldn't have infinite potential since Jiro doesn't know how to add that to his androids because it was given by Zeno, and you can't really take something that was given from basically the creator of the universe and everything. So he just has infinite stamina and all that, just like the other androids. But it's probably been like 2 days, and Gohan did learn Super Saiyan in basically the first 3 months, managing to make it to the 4th grade, basically mastered Super Saiyan by the end of the year. And then training with Goku in the 2nd year to ascend Super Saiyan, but Goku had another idea, and he told Gohan that they will learn how to use the Grade 8 form. And since it's much easier to handle than Super Saiyan, Gohan managed to learn the Wrathful form, or the Ikari form, pretty easily. So he learned that. And him and Goku trained there for half a month, basically. Like, not half a month, but for 6 months, using the Ikari to its fullest. And then Goku trained in Super Saiyan with Gohan yet again, and Goku's power level in Grade 4 would be insane, but if Cell basically has a bit of his DNA and had a bit of Goku's strength inside him, it would be pretty insane how strong Cell would be too, and how the other androids would be upgraded. So Goku and Gohan trained, and since Gohan had a bit of a bigger head start now, Gohan and Goku managed to enter Super Saiyan 2. And they managed to learn how to tap into it, but it takes a lot of time and they can't do it on will. They need a massive rage boost to be able to enter Super Saiyan 2, but that's their trump card. And besides Goku having the Kari form and Kaioken, that's their trump card basically. And Vegeta came in and trained, and Goku said that he would come in to be Vegeta's training partner, and Vegeta learned quickly since he had a rival, and he also had someone to surpass. And he trained in there, learning Super Saiyan Grade 4 pretty easily by the end of the year. And Vegeta, he thought Super Saiyan Grade 4 would be enough, so he came out with Goku in Super Saiyan Grade 4. Piccolo and the other humans started training, and they just, well, Piccolo and Tien and Yamcha would train first, and then Gohan and Krillin, since Gohan would just train Krillin to become stronger, and Krillin did get an exponential boost from this. Everyone is buffed incredibly, and that's that for their training. But once Goku basically comes out with Vegeta, I forgot to mention, the heart virus basically starts to kick in as he grabs his chest and he goes on one knee coughing and says, "What is happening? I think this is the heart virus," as he falls unconscious. Gohan gets so worried, but he remembers what Piccolo told everyone, since Piccolo asked Goku if they could say what he heard, except the, well, Trunks being Vegeta's kid and everything. They changed that. Basically, Goku had the heart attack, or the heart virus, happen, and they had the medicine. They took him to the Capsule Corp, took him there, and they sorted everything out, basically. With that sorted, basically, the whole heart virus thing would go away in about one whole week, which is enough time for the androids to finally be activated. Well, only Android 19 and 20, and that was Jiro and his other android, basically Android 19, and basically they fought, and these androids were much stronger due to the fact that Jiro was watching, and he made himself an android, making himself more enhanced, just by a little bit, but enhancing only 19, 19 to 19, and 19, 17, 18, and 16. But he also has another trump card. He also has another few androids, and in this time I did say 20 came out, but I'm gonna replace that with 15 and 14. Android 15 and Android 14. 15 and 14, basically. With 19, and they started causing havoc. And Yamcha, he wasn't so lucky. He ran into basically 15 and 14, and he started fighting them. And Tien joined, Krillin joined, and they still couldn't overpower them. Piccolo joined, and they started to gain a little bit more of an upper hand. And then Gohan joined in Super Saiyan, knocking both of those two androids back. And Gohan and Piccolo doing a simultaneous Masenko, blasting it straight towards the two androids, destroyed those androids. They were much stronger, but with Gohan and Piccolo getting more enhanced and stronger due to their training, I don't see why they can't take down these androids. 19 was the only one left, and Vegeta was left to take care of him. And since they're in grade 4, way above them, they only thought, since Goku was only in grade 1, they were only prepared for grade 1. And I tell you, grade 1 Super Saiyan Goku in this What If could wreck Vegeta in grade 4 and Gohan in grade 4 easily, okay, outclassing them. But they only knew of Goku's power then. They didn't really know how to track it or sense it. They sensed it was pretty enormous since it shook the planet, but they didn't know how strong it truly was, so they only boosted the android strength by a little bit. But the one that they boosted the most was Android 13, 17, 18, and 16. And they also made Cell very strong. And well, Jiro basically was out with 13 watching the destruction happen, and 19 was destroyed. And 13 came along, and Vegeta fought 13, and Goku was finally awake, and he sensed the powers, and he teleported and watched the fight. And Vegeta, he was basically struggling, even in Super Saiyan. And 13 wasn't even going up for power, and all the other parts of the androids that were destroyed came towards 13, and that empowered him to be even stronger, not even in his Super Android 13 form just yet, as he starts fighting Vegeta, and Vegeta keeps getting knocked back. Gohan joins him, and these two now overpower him. But Android 13 yells out a roar as a deafening roar could be heard as a red light or red key could be sensed, and that key was Android 13's. He has powered up to his super form, basically Super Android 13, and this shocked everyone. This power was insane. It was near even Kakarot's power level, Vegeta would say. Gohan would exclaim, "What is this power? It's insane!" As Gohan knows what to do as he yells, and a deafening roar could be heard from Gohan as he powers up to Super Saiyan 2, breaking his limits, and enters Super Saiyan 2 as Vegeta watches in awe as Gohan fights 13 one-on-one. And right now they're pretty even. I said that 13 was near Goku's power level, and it's about the same level as Goku in grade 4. Yeah, basically in grade 4. But Goku has a trump card, so he didn't really need to come in and help. And Gohan was fighting, and I'd say Gohan would probably be, he would probably outclass Goku in Super Saiyan. Even if Goku has Super Saiyan, he'd probably outclass Gohan. Gohan would probably outclass Goku since he has Super Saiyan 2, and it's much more of a higher form. And it's incredibly strong, since Gohan's potential is strong. So, yeah, that's that. But realistically, Gohan would get clapped here. But I'm gonna say that Gohan got a bit of a rage boost, seeing the destruction and stuff like that. He managed to barely defeat Android 13, with him blasting a Kamehameha wave straight towards Android 13, which would disintegrate him. And, Gohan would be out cold since he used up all of his power. He never used that much before. And Jiro would fly away, but Goku would teleport in front of him, lifting his hand towards him, blasting him down straight towards the ground. And that would basically annihilate him immediately. So Jiro wouldn't have time to activate the androids. And Goku would basically start searching around with the Z fighters. Before they start looking though, they healed Gohan with a Sensu Bean, and then they started looking around for Jiro's lab, finally managing to find it. And Trunks also came along, since he actually sensed the power when he came, and he came to see what's going on, as he basically saw the sight that he's seeing now, and he goes and follows the Z fighters to Jiro's lab. And Jiro's lab would probably be still there, and since he didn't activate the androids wouldn't have destroyed the lab. So the lab is pretty much intact, and they searched around for blueprints, and I did see three unactivated androids, and those androids were basically 16, 17, and 18. And they also found a blueprint for this weird bug creature named Cell, and they saw it in an incubation chamber. And Goku saw this, and he didn't want to take the risk of this being a big threat, so Goku charged up a blast with one hand, basically vaporizing Cell in his incubation chamber before he even hatched. So that's that. And Trunks was a bit worried, since if there's a Cell in this timeline, there has to be a Cell in his timeline. So before he rushed out, he said to destroy those androids as he flies away back to his time machine to basically go and see if Cell was in his timeline. And Trunks did train, and he managed to train in his timeline, managing to make it to grade 2. But that's all Trunks knew, basically. And, the thing is, Trunks wouldn't be too strong since he didn't train with Vegeta for the Cell Saga just yet. But that's that for the Android Saga, basically. And Goku would take these androids to Bulma, and Bulma would realize that two of them are basically cyborgs, and she would be horrified to see that these two teenagers were experimented on. But Bulma did her best and reprogrammed them to be good, remembering their names and their past and everything. And they were a bit rowdy when they woke up, and the only teacher that they knew could handle such rowdiness was Piccolo. So Piccolo would be the trainer for these two, and Piccolo would get outclassed pretty easily. But since Gohan's there, Gohan and Piccolo are their teachers, and they basically start training. And Gohan did study for a bit just to keep up with his grades and everything, but besides that, they kept training. And that's the whole thing that happened. And Goku continued training in the time chamber with Vegeta, eventually with Vegeta figuring out Super Saiyan 2, being able to access it with without much trouble, and Goku mastered Super Saiyan 2 pretty quickly. Knows how to do it by will, and can basically use it to its fullest extent, and is basically working to try to surpass that form. And while training with Vegeta, they spent like, I'd say about 3 days in there, which is about 3 years, and they basically, well, Goku basically figured out a way to surpass Super Saiyan 2 and ascend beyond that, making it to Super Saiyan 3, which is super strong. I don't know the multiplier, but it's exponentially stronger than Super Saiyan 2. He trains with it with Vegeta, and Vegeta gets stronger too, finally mastering Super Saiyan 2 by the first year. Goku, well, masters Super Saiyan 2 by the next year, basically the year and a half, basically 1 year and 6 months, he finally masters Super Saiyan 3. And he's working to try and surpass that, and Vegeta is working to achieve Super Saiyan 3, since he sees that Kakarot has achieved a great form, and it does drain your stamina a lot, but if mastering this form, since mastering this form would take a bit of a while, he tried to make Super Saiyan 2 his greatest form, but he knows he needs to get a form that ascends that. So he basically tried to unlock Super Saiyan 3. By the end of the second year, he managed to enter Super Saiyan 3, but only for a brief period of time, since he doesn't know how to use it just like Goku does. Well, Vegeta was knocked out for a day or so in the time chamber. Goku was working to surpass Super Saiyan, and he managed to do it. He figured, why not stack Super Saiyan and Ikari together, and boom, it created an incredible sight. A big golden light could be seen in the time chamber, and Vegeta sensed this key, and he was basically dazed and amazed by Goku's incredible strength. Didn't mean to make a rhyme there, but still. Basically, Goku entered Super Saiyan 4, and it took a little while to transform into it, but he finally combined them together, and a golden light could be seen, as I said earlier. And Goku, as the light basically dissipated, Goku looked totally different. His hair was longer, but not the same long as Super Saiyan 3. And his tail, he did have a tail, and his tail is basically not brown anymore. It's red. He has fur all over his body, and his appearance has totally changed. He has turned into Super Saiyan 4, and Goku yells out in excitement, "Yes! I have achieved greater power beyond this!" As he powers up, he just basically flexes his ki as his ki blows Vegeta back, as Vegeta looks in awe at Goku's power. His power is incredible as he sees this, and now he knows what to work towards. And by the end of the third year, Vegeta did not get Super Saiyan 4. He only managed to get up to Super Saiyan 3 and mastering it. And he only mastered Super Saiyan 3, And he did hang out with Bulma since he had nowhere else to live. So him and Bulma, well, had their relationship and had Trunks just a little bit later, but not too late. And Cell was basically gonna be born, but Cell was destroyed by Goku, as I've said before. So that means that the only thing left was the future Cell, and Trunks came back pretty injured, and they gave him a senzu. Trunks said, this Cell creature is so strong. I did take out the androids, but he's probably looking for the androids in this timeline. You mustn't let that Cell get them, or else his power will skyrocket. And basically, Android 17, 16, and 18 were there with the Z Fighters, and they were pretty worried too, but they came and saw Cell, and basically Cell was in a wasteland, and they sensed his power. It's pretty large. And they basically teleported there, and Goku and Cell will face each other straight in the face and eyed each other down while Goku powered up to Super Saiyan, and Cell laughed, saying, "You think that form, that golden hair form, Super Saiyan, will be enough to stop me? You are surely mistaken. Your power is nothing to me," as he was knocked straight across the face, getting sent flying backwards as Goku teleports behind him, kicking him straight in the back, sending him towards the sky, and then slams him towards the ground, and teleports on the ground, and yells Kamehameha as he releases a Kamehameha wave, sending Cell into the sky, and Cell was gonna get vaporized, but Cell, he basically uses, Goku thought Cell was gonna get vaporized, but Cell basically used the Mirage, and goes and punches Goku in the face, and they had a bit of a taijutsu bout. And the obvious winner would be Goku, since he trained to be much stronger, and this wasn't really much of a challenge for him, so he kept fighting, and everyone was amazed. And Vegeta yelled at Kakarot or Goku, saying, "Hey Kakarot, it's my turn to fight this crazy android," as Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan 2, as he fought Cell this time. And this time, Cell was having a bit of an easier time. Well, not an easier time, since this is Super Saiyan 2. He had a little bit more trouble. But in the end, he managed to distract Vegeta using a solar flare, basically blinding everyone, and blitzes the two androids. And the two androids were pretty shocked by this. They were blinded for a second, since they're half cyborg still. So since they're half human, they can't really withstand such a thing. But Android 16 was able to withstand it, but Cell moved way too fast and grabbed the two androids, and his tail elongated basically and absorbed 17 and then 18, and Cell's power level skyrocketed. And I'm just gonna say plot convenience, because I want this to be a much more exciting fight. So, Perfect Cell was born, his perfect form, and Cell powered up. In his power, he started basically clenching his fist and started saying, "Well, thank you for that. My power now exceeds even yours, Son Goku," as he looks at Goku. And Vegeta yells at Cell, saying, "Hey, Cell! Our fight isn't over! Kakarot's not your opponent, I am!" As Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan 3 and starts fighting Cell. And Cell, since he has Saiyan DNA, he knows how to transform, basically. So he transforms into Super Saiyan. And Super Saiyan's basically Cell, Perfect Cell, would be, well, not outclassing Vegeta, but would be able to keep up with Vegeta a slight tad bit. But Vegeta was rocking Cell's world right now, so Cell transforms into his super perfect Cell form, and Vegeta still had a little bit of the upper hand, but you could tell that Vegeta was struggling to keep to keep up. And Cell finally transforms into his super perfect Cell form, which is Super Saiyan 3 basically. So Cell, he has Saiyan DNA, he has Vegeta's DNA, so I'm pretty sure he would have Super Saiyan 3 as well. So basically, Vegeta's getting rocked. Goku and Gohan step in, transforming into Super Saiyan 2, and then Goku powering up to Super Saiyan 3. Gohan basically perfected Super Saiyan 2 just like Goku and Vegeta, but he also transformed into Super Saiyan 3, and they started fighting Cell, and Cell basically had no advantage against these two. It was just Vegeta, but this time he tried to power up even more. Since he had Goku's DNA, he knows that Goku has Kaioken, so he stacks Kaioken onto that. Since he has regeneration, this would boost his power exponentially, knocking both Goku and Gohan back. And Goku and Cell would go at it, blow for blow, and Cell basically punched Goku straight across the face, making him fall towards the ground. And Goku acted like he was knocked out, dropping into his base, and Cell started laughing maniacally, saying, "Well, the great son Goku, defeated by me. This is this your full power, son Goku?" As he begins laughing more maniacally, and Gohan thought Goku actually got knocked out, or his father got knocked out, so he gets a bit of a rage boost, finding the strength to fight Cell more, and he starts fighting, but the fight is pretty clear who is actually gonna win, and it's Cell. And Cell knees Gohan, making him drop into base and punches him across the face, making him basically crash into a mountain. And Gohan was knocked out, and everyone saw this. Everyone who saw this was pretty surprised, and this is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was the Cell games, and no, this wasn't the Cell games, since he didn't broadcast this live, so no one knows about this actually. And Goku was pretty ticked off to see this, and Goku basically says, yelling at Cell, saying, "Well, Cell, this isn't my full power. I was holding back this entire time. Let me show you what my full power looks like," as Goku starts yelling, and a golden light could be seen throughout the whole battlefield. And you can hear a deafening roar from Goku as he yells, "Ah!" and transforms. As the golden light dissipates, as you can see, Goku has transformed into his Super Saiyan 4. Into a Super Saiyan 4. And everyone who felt his power and his presence was shocked beyond belief. His power was insane. And Goku fought Cell, and this wasn't even a contest anymore. He rocked Cell with one punch, and then another, and multiple others, and then started hitting him with multiple barrages of attacks. And then straight after, he uses a Kamehameha wave, destroying every cell in Cell's body, basically. So Cell's gone, and we take a big time skip here to about the Buu saga. And Gohan was pretty busy, but since he's more of a martial artist this time, he'd take his training more seriously. And Gohan, right here, he has Super Saiyan 3, much stronger than Canon Gohan. And at this point, he'd kept up with his training, and Goku taught him throughout the years how to use Super Saiyan 4, and taught Vegeta as well. So basically, as Gohan was a child, when he transforms, he basically turns into an adult. But now he's a little older, got taller, and he has Super Saiyan 4. So way stronger than Canon Gohan at this point. And basically, he still met Videl and had his Saiyaman kind of persona. Since he has Super Saiyan 4, he just used that, and that was basically his disguise, as he was known as not the Saiyaman, but I'm just gonna say Monkey Man. Okay, this is just Gohan's thinking process right now. He just called himself the Monkey Man since he had a tail and everything. So yeah, that's Gohan right there, doing his heroics. And Goten was eventually born. Trunks was born just a year older than him. So yeah, there's just that difference. And basically Gohan would teach Goten a little bit since they already have Super Saiyan. Gohan would teach Goten how to use Super Saiyan correctly, and Goten actually manages to upgrade his Super Saiyan to grade 2, surpassing even Trunks at this point. And yeah, they trained, and the basically the martial arts tournament would finally begin. It is the martial arts tournament, and well, this would be a great one since, well, there's two strange figures that join this match, and that would be Shin and Kibito, the Supreme Kais, and their plan, in my opinion, was absolute dog water, since, to be honest, if you actually were smart and you knew everything and you were a god, you would probably think of a better plan instead of, letting one of the Z fighters have their power absorbed, since that would be way more than enough to basically revive Boo. The smartest plan would be to just, well, watch the matches. Well, not watch the matches, but to make something up that's more of a proficient plan, basically. But they still did the same thing, and Gohan got enraged when, Videl got beaten by, basically, um, well, by this man who had an M symbol on his head. And that would be, I totally forget. Every single time I forget their names. What were their names again? I'm just gonna say a random person, okay? It's just that guy who had an M on his head beat down on Videl, and that ticked Gohan off, and Gohan powered up, not to Super Saiyan 4, but he had a disguise this time, so he would disguise himself. And it was the Saiyan get up, so no one would know it was him. So Gohan would power up to Super Saiyan 2, and that would be just way more than enough. And he started wailing on this man, and he got surprise attacked as he got punched across the face, and then Shin paused him, and they basically grabbed him and stabbed him with the energy drainer machine, and they got way more than enough power. Well, not way more than enough, just about 80% of Boo's, well, about 80% of Boo's power, basically. Enough for Boo to almost be revived, but just 20% off. So, Gohan would get healed by Kibito and stuff, and they'd head out. And it's easy enough to say that when they arrived, they defeated most of them. And Goku doesn't even use Super Saiyan to defeat Yakon. I'm pretty sure it was Yakon. Yeah, to defeat Yakon, all he needed was the Solar Flare, and hit him with a Dragon Fist, which was enough to take him out, and that wasn't even enough to, well, free Boo's egg. But besides that, Bobby needed to control somebody. Needed to. And, the perfect person to basically control, well, the option was Vegeta, and he tried Vegeta. And that didn't really work out, since Vegeta was pretty content right now. He was pretty ticked off that Goku had such power, but he now has that power, so he wasn't too ticked off. So he had no one to control, so that means he got eliminated, and Boo wouldn't even be revived. Boo at this point would just not be revived. Would not be revived, but I think I can remember that Vegeta blasted basically Boo's egg, and Boo was revived. So I'm gonna say that happened. Maybe I was just, I don't know, tripping, and I just can't remember, but I'm gonna say that happened, and Boo was actually revived with that attack, and Shin and Kibito yelled at Vegeta saying, "You moron!" But I forgot to mention Deborah, but he wasn't much of an issue, since Gohan and Super Saiyan 2 would rock Deborah with one punch, killing him instantly. So yeah, these guys are basically One Punch Man already, so yeah. So Boo was revived, and his power level is pretty strong. It's probably about Super Saiyan 3, and Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 3, and that wasn't enough, since he kept getting, well, knocked back. And since Boo, well, had the ability to regenerate, and that really rubbed Vegeta the wrong way. And he kept fighting him, and Gohan and Goku joined. Some of the Z fighters did too. Goku at Super Saiyan 3 was rocking Boo right now, punching him multiple times in the face. Gohan as well, Vegeta, they were all wailing on Boo, and Boo got pretty annoyed as smoke would come out of his head as he yells, "Boo, mad now!" as another Boo would come out of him, and that would be Evil Boo. And, like, in canon, Super Boo was born. And, they fought Super Boo, and to be honest, this wasn't even much of a fight. But I'm gonna say that Vegeta got a little cocky, and when Boo slipped a punch, Boo basically did a behind the back and slopped one of his goo on him, on Vegeta, and that covered Vegeta, and Vegeta tried to blast it off, but it didn't work, and he got absorbed, and he's at Super Saiyan 3. So, yeah, Vegeta would give Boo the most incredible power-up. Much greater than Boo Tanks. Yeah, much greater than Boo Tanks. Since Vegeta got Super Saiyan 4. And if I put in Gohan in there, Buhan and Vegeta, well, basically Vegeta right now, is incredibly stronger. But Gohan's stronger, and if Gohan was absorbed, it'd be over. So Boo powers up, and he had a bit of a face change. And he said to the Z Fighter, saying, this man right here, well, this guy I just absorbed, gave me the incredible power-up that I needed. And you're all finished now. And I forgot to mention, the androids were revived, so they aren't dead. So yeah. But we move from that, and Goku smiles, looking at Vegeta as he powers up to Super Saiyan 4 yet again, showing his power. And this time it's Mastered Super Saiyan 4 as he beats down on Vegeta, and Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan 4 as well. And it isn't even close. Goku is incredibly strong. Way stronger. And I did the math wrong, I'm pretty sure, like last time on the parts. Or maybe I did the math wrong in this what if. But if I assume correctly, his power would soar much higher than the one I did in the parts, basically. So yeah, Boo was getting rocked, and he managed to punch Goku in the face, distracting him for long enough to basically blast something at Gohan. And Gohan didn't know what it was. He thought it was a beam, so he tried to swipe it away. And he's at Super Saiyan 3, but it was actually Goop, which was covered in Ki, which distracted Gohan, and he got absorbed. And yes, Buhan is born. Buhan mixed with Vegeta, well, Gohan and Vegeta mixed together, makes for a deadly combo. Oh. Buhan in this timeline would be way stronger than normal. And in Ultimate, I'd say this Gohan is probably the same strong as Ultimate. Yeah, basically the same strong as Ultimate Gohan in canon. Well, a little bit stronger, but still. But the big difference here is that, well, he absorbed Vegeta first, which means he already has Super Saiyan 4, but adding Gohan on top of that would create an even more powerful Super Saiyan 4 Boo, basically. And Boo is way stronger than Goku alone at this point, since, well, the power levels do matter, and Goku's, well, I'm gonna say that, well, to be honest, Goku would actually rock them, but I'm gonna make the fight interesting and say that Goku was struggling a little bit, right? But he was holding back a lot in Super Saiyan 4. He wasn't going all out, and he finally did, and Buhan was taken aback by this power. He powers up even more, and Buhan did not stand a chance. Even if Buhan was stronger, it still did not stand a chance against the power level that that Goku was showing right now. And Goku, he basically used the limit breaker for a second there. For 1 second, he turned into Super Saiyan 4 limit breaker, just for a second, and used it as a speed blitz. and basically managed to enter and enter Boo's mouth. Basically entering Boo's mouth. Well, not entering Boo's mouth, but charging at Boo, and Boo basically split into his goo and tried to absorb Goku, but Goku put up a barrier that he learned from the androids, so he wouldn't get absorbed. But Goku was now inside Boo, and Boo did have his guard up inside, so he basically started having his inside Boo try to take out Goku. But that didn't really work out well, as Goku just ripped off Vegeta and Gohan, and then ripped off the other Boo, and that turned this Boo into Kid Boo. But Super Saiyan 4 Goku destroyed Kid Boo, so Kid Boo was absolutely eradicated, and the Fat Boo was left behind. So, yeah, that's that basically. So, that's that for that part, and that's the Boo Saga, and now we enter the God Arc. The God's Arc, basically. Where, well, Beerus woke up from his nap, well, envisioning a Super Saiyan God. And, he wanted to see the Super Saiyan God for himself, so he told Whis about his premonition, and he wanted to head to this planet named Earth. And Goku wasn't on King Kai's planet training. He was in a hyperbolic time chamber, and it's been a whole year in there. And he's mastered Super Saiyan 4 to its maximum right now. And he has Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. And he doesn't have Ultimate this time around. Doesn't have Ultimate since the Kais didn't really awaken the Z-Sword or break the Z-Sword. So, yeah. But Gohan would take an interest to the Z-Sword, so he'd have that in hand. And, basically, Beerus would fight the Z Fighters when he arrived, since he asked them if they saw a Super Saiyan God or know about it. And Goku was the first person he asked to fight. Well, not Goku, but Vegeta, because Vegeta knew him, and he said, "Well, I'd show you power of a god." As he powers up to Super Saiyan 4, which shocked Beerus, but not by much. And Beerus would say, "Is that all? That's not a power of a god." As Vegeta would look at him with a smile on his face, saying, "This power that I'm showing you is way more than enough to defeat you and your god powers." As he starts fighting Beerus, and he gets totally destroyed. And Gohan comes in, and he fights with a Z-Sword, and Beerus is pretty careful not to break it, but he accidentally did, and the other Kai was freed, and the Elder Kai would thank Gohan, and Beerus would yell at the Elder Kai saying, "Oi, Kai, you alright?" As the Kai would say, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why would you seal me in there anyway?" And, Beerus would just not even look at him as he continues fighting with Gohan, and Gohan would say, Beerus would say to Gohan, "Well, is this all you truly have, this form? It's not enough. You need a stronger form. Where's the Super Saiyan God at?" As the Elder Kai yells at Beerus, saying, "Let me turn that boy into that Super Saiyan God you speak of. I'll make him strong." And, Gohan's gonna get Ultimate. And Gohan basically stays in Super Saiyan 4, and the ritual is done on him. And the ritual would be rushed, but he'd still get the same boost as he did. And they'd ask Shenron about it, and it'd be the Super Saiyan God ritual that they need to do. And Goku would ask Beerus if he could fight him before they do the ritual. And Goku powers up to Super Saiyan 4. And surprising Beerus, because this power is much higher than the other Saiyans that he fought. And he fought Goku, and Goku went to Limit Breaker, and then stacked Kaioken times 20 on it. And Beerus was surprised that a mortal could keep up with him at this level. And Goku would be at he'd be at the level of Omen 1 at this point. Yeah, Omen 1, when Goku first transformed into to Ultra Instinct Omen. So this would be Omen 1. Goku would be able to dodge most of Beerus' attacks, since he doesn't even have Omen Ultra Instinct. he doesn't have the omen, but due to his years of training in martial arts, he'd know to react to these attacks. As he blocks attacks and attacks back and counters, Beerus would be surprised to see a mortal fighting at this level. This Goku he would sense God Ki within Goku, and the God Ki resides within Goku as Beerus would punch Goku straight across the face, saying, "Well, son Goku, you have God Ki within you. You don't need that ritual. You have to bring it out. Bring out the power of the God and show me your full power." As Goku did say that this is his full power, but he says if he tries, he'll try. If he wants him to try, then he'll try. As he yells, and you can hear a deafening roar as Goku turns into basically drops at a base and yells, and you can hear a deafening roar. And Goku would change his hair from yellow, and then to basically go to Super Saiyan, and then Super Saiyan 2, and then Super Saiyan 3. And Goku would stay at Super Saiyan 3, not go into Super Saiyan 4, but his hair would go back to looking like it's in this base form, and a blue light would basically surround Goku as Goku would get not lifted into the air, but as a blue light, and then a fiery red aura would replace that blue light, as Goku would turn into the Super Saiyan God without the ritual. And why I didn't take this into account into the parts is because I didn't really think of this. But now I did, since Goku was blessed with the ability of infinite potential. This infinite potential was given by a god, correct? Which means it has some god ki residing within it, and the god ki grew exponentially through Goku's training, so Goku was able to access this god ki and turn it into a form. And that would be Super Saiyan God. And Goku is basically now a Super Saiyan God, as he never even thought about this before, as he fought Beerus, getting used to his form, and this fight would be incredible. Goku and Super Saiyan God in this time will not have the same fight. He would be basically keeping up with Beerus. Beerus would have to access more power, and this mortal right here would probably be the only mortal to ever push Beerus to use Super Saiyan God. Not Super Saiyan God, but to go all out, basically. So Beerus actually went 100% on this fight and fought Goku, and Goku was basically Beerus' equal in Super Saiyan God, since Goku's potential and this God Ki that he had was from Zeno. Okay? So this ability that he has, and why Zeno gave it to him, was to make Goku stronger, to fight him, and this God Ki was from basically Zeno, so this God Ki would basically make Goku exact same strong as Beerus. And Beerus would be shocked beyond belief to see a mortal keep up with him. This mortal is insane. Their punches rocked the whole universe because they're basically equals, and Beerus actually got the edge on Goku with basically using a mirage and then punching Goku. This took Goku off by surprise, and I'm gonna say plot convenience because why not? So yeah, but I need a water break, so I'll be back in like 1 second. So I just had my drink break and I'm good. So basically, Goku and Beerus would have their same fight as normal, and not normal, but they had their fight basically. And Goku would lose just by a little bit, but Vegeta would be pretty jealous seeing this power that Kakarot displayed, and Gohan would be pretty surprised too, and Gohan would have the ritual finished. Beerus wasn't he didn't want to fight anymore since he was tired out, and Immortal made him use 100% of his power, except Kai, since he didn't want to kill Goku. So he decided to train not the 3 humans, but the 3 Saiyans. And Gohan did accept, but he'd only come on some certain occasions due to the fact that he has his university and work and all that. He'd have a tight schedule, but he would keep up training and occasionally come to Beerus' planet. So Goku and Vegeta went to Beerus' planet and started training there, and that's basically how that arc ends. And the Frieza arc, well, the Frieza, Resurrection F would actually come into play pretty soon. But Goku and Vegeta were training, and they awakened Super Saiyan Blue. Well, Vegeta didn't know that yet, but Goku did. He awakened Blue, and Vegeta awakened Super Saiyan God, and then started training with it, and then soon enough awakened Blue as well. And Gohan would come occasionally, learning how to use God Ki in its basic form, and managed to enter Super Saiyan God now that he has basically trained with Goku and Vegeta for a while in Beerus' planet. So they have Super Saiyan God down packed. But Gohan only knows Super Saiyan God since he doesn't go there all the time. But he does know he can try and stack God with basically Super Saiyan 4. That could create an incredible beast of a Super Saiyan basically. So yeah. And Frieza was revived just like normal, and he thought training would definitely work. And this time he did not train for 4 months, but for a whole 6 months. Nah, I'm just joking. He'd trained for about a whole year. Okay, whole year, and that would make his power level even more stronger than it was. So he'd be about the same level as about Tournament of Power Frieza, basically. Tournament of Power Frieza, since he actually trained for a whole year. More stronger, and Frieza's potential is very deadly. Very deadly. He can train for 4 months and make it to godly power. That's insane. So, with a fodder soldier too. So, that tells you something about Frieza's potential. But it's nowhere near Goku. So, Goku right now would be able to access Super Saiyan 3 Blue, or Super Saiyan Blue 3. Yeah, he has that ability because why not? And plot convenience. So he has that ability. And Vegeta saw this and is getting way too ticked off. And Goku also learned Blue Evolution, but he figured that ascending to Super Saiyan Blue 3 would be better, and then stacking Evolution onto that. So basically, Goku is always ahead of Vegeta, and Vegeta could never catch up to Goku. Never, ever. Since Goku was basically meant to be Zeno's rival, he has to be strong. And Whis was surprised until one day when Whis told the two Saiyans to train. He went to basically Zeno's palace and asked, well, the Grand Priest or his father, why this mortal son Goku was so strong. And he answered with, well, my son, I'm just gonna say that all the angels are Grand Priest's sons, so yeah, I'm gonna say that, okay? I'm just gonna say that to avoid confusion, so, well, my son, the great himself, Zeno, the great Lord Zeno himself, he gave son Goku, the ability to have infinite potential, or unlimited potential. So now, he can rival Zeno. Lord Zeno wants a rival. Someone who can be the same strong as him. So, he wants someone to challenge him. So, yeah, that happens. And, Whis leaves and trains Vegeta and Goku again, while Vegeta and Goku were alone on the planet. Goku decided to try something. He tried to stack Super Saiyan with Blue, and it actually managed to work, creating Super Saiyan 4 Blue. Goku's power level was insane. It was tremendous. It was off the charts. And in Super Saiyan God, he surpassed Beerus. Well, he's the same level as Beerus. But now, he's way above Beerus. He's above Beerus, and basically all the other God of Destruction, basically, way more above them now. So, basically, Frieza would come back to Earth, challenging it, and Gohan would challenge Frieza. He'd defeat the strongest soldiers of Frieza, and the Z Fighters also fought the fodder soldiers, and Gohan fought Frieza. Frieza went to his final form, and Gohan went to Super Saiyan 4, which was shocking to Frieza, but he started laughing, saying, "You monkey, you actually turned into one." Before he can finish the sentence, though, he got punched across the face, and Gohan started hitting him with multiple barrages of attacks, and then he stacks ultimate. Apologies for that, but someone entered my room, and I had to kind of pause the video there, but we continue, and Frieza fought Gohan, and Gohan was destroying Frieza. Frieza had to ultimately use his golden form, and Gohan would be pretty surprised to see this. But Gohan would stack Ultimate, and he'd fight Frieza. And to be honest, Frieza was still suppressed in his golden form, and they'd basically keep up with each other. But Frieza would say, "This isn't my full power. This is just my golden form, and just suppressing my power. So, is this all you have, human, or not human, but monkey?" As Gohan tells Frieza, "Well, Frieza, this isn't my full power either." As Gohan drops into base, as he powers up into Super Saiyan God, as Frieza can see the red aura, the red fiery aura from Gohan as Gohan transforms into Super Saiyan God. And this wasn't enough to basically keep up with Frieza, since Frieza is way stronger. Well, since Gohan has ultimate. Wait, nah, this is all changed. Since Gohan had ultimate, he trained with that, kept up with his training, had Super Saiyan God. This is way more than enough to actually defeat Frieza, since Ultimate Gohan would probably be the same strong as pre-tournament power Super Saiyan Blue Goku in canon, basically. And since he has Super Saiyan God and trained constantly, well, this is way more than enough. And he fought Frieza, and Frieza was getting demolished. And Frieza questioned why his training didn't pay off. His golden form should be enough to deal with this monkey, but it wasn't. And Gohan finished him off using Ultimate God, basically stacking Ultimate on top of Super Saiyan God, and then basically using a Kamehameha wave, sending Frieza into oblivion, and that vaporized Frieza. And soon after that, the Universe 6 tournament happened, and to be honest, Goku was up first, and he didn't get knocked out by Frost this time. He wasn't so naive. He wasn't as naive this time, and he didn't get knocked out. He knocked out Frost. He knocked out Botamo. He knocked out Kaba. He didn't teach him Super Saiyan like Vegeta, but he knocked out Kaba. He knocked out Botama. He knocked out, then he knocked out Hit. He fought Hit, and Hit wasn't even a challenge in Super Saiyan. I bet you, I tell you right now, Goku in Super Saiyan 3 is pretty strong, but in Super Saiyan 4, I bet you, in Super Saiyan 4, he'd knocked out not Frost, but Hit in Super Saiyan 4, and that was pretty much it. No one else had a chance to fight. So, they made a wish with the Super Dragon Balls. Beerus wished for basically, Universe 6's Earth to be, restored. So, yeah, they had that. And, Zeno came in, and he saw Goku as he walked up to Goku, and everyone was terrified. The Supreme Kais were, and Goku had a sense of familiarity. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I cannot speak. Familiarity. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, right? Yeah, familiarity with Zeno. And he kneeled down and said, "Lord Zeno?" And Zeno would say, "It's okay. You don't have to call me Lord Zeno. You can just call me Zeno. Or you can give me a nickname. I'll nickname you Son. I'll just call you Goku." As Goku would think of a name, saying, "Ah, I got a perfect name. What about Zenny?" And Beerus would basically go unconscious. He'd be knocked out hearing the word Zenny. The Supreme Kai would faint, and everyone would be breathing heavily. And Goku would say, "Well, Zenny, I feel a sense of familiarity with you. So what's this feeling? What is this feeling that I feel?" And Zeno would basically reply with saying, "Well, Goku, I gave you that ability that you have. That ability of unlimited potential, because I wanted a rival who can match my power, and we'd have an all-out battle and see who would be the winner. And I chose you since you're pure-hearted when you were born. So I chose you to be my rival. You are the chosen one, basically. And Zeno would say, well, Goku, I'll make a tournament pretty soon, so make sure your universe is ready. And he basically left with the Grand Priest and his soldiers, and Beerus would finally wake up saying, is it over yet? And the Supreme Kai would say the exact same thing. And Whis would start chuckling a little bit, saying, oh my lord, it isn't that much of a big deal, my lord Beerus. And, they had that, and basically, that's over and done with, and Zamasu would not want to mess with Goku, since he's the chosen one by the one and only, well, Zeno, basically. Chosen by Zeno, and he wouldn't want to mess with him. But he wanted to make sure his plans came to fruition, so he basically still stole Goku's body, and he stole it in Future Trunks' timeline. So Goku basically is way outclassing Trunks. So Trunks is in big trouble. Trunks came back, managing to barely survive. As Goku would see Goku Black, he would not hold back. He would go Blue Kaioken, and I'd go Blue 3. He'd go Super Saiyan 3 Blue Kaioken times 20, and he'd legit Dragon Fist Goku Black out of existence. Goku Black would be gone. Just to make sure, they headed to the future timeline and got rid of Zamasu, as I thought, but he's immortal, so they used the Mafuba and sealed him away. And Beerus, well, basically kept it in his planet to make sure it stays safe. So that arc goes pretty safe, actually. It's pretty safe. And, well, Goku kept training and stuff. Nothing really else changes here. So they just kept training, and Zeno told them about the rules of the tournament that will happen pretty soon. And the rules were to get like 10 people on your team, and the first 3 who are already qualified would be Goku, Gohan, Vegeta. The next stop would be Android 18, Android 17, and Android 16 is alive here, if you don't remember. Android 16 would be alive, and they'd be pretty strong, so that'd be already about 7 fighters. So the 8th fighter would probably be Tien, Piccolo, Tien, and then Piccolo. For the 10th fighter, it got to be Goten. Yeah, Goten. And Vegeta protested, saying Trunks should be here. But Goten showed Vegeta his power as Goten powers up to Super Saiyan 3, and Trunks was amazed. He trained with Goten here and there, but he doesn't know Goten's full power. He doesn't know it. Trunks can only go Super Saiyan, and he doesn't even have any grades to it. Since Goten has been training a lot, and his grades were improving, his mom let him train with Gohan, and yeah, basically become exponentially stronger, so they're prepared for the tournament pretty early. And they had multiple amounts of time to train, multiple. And Goten and all the people who were entering basically took turns in the time chamber. Goku, Gohan, and Goten stayed there for about a year, and they had enough food for a year there. And they basically stayed there until Goten could get the grasp of Super Saiyan God. And yes, Goten would get Super Saiyan God by this time. And yeah, they got Super Saiyan God. So Goten is pretty much one of the strongest fighters since he has God on him. Well, he's just behind Piccolo, since Piccolo has been training with Gohan, and he's not stronger than Gohan, but he's probably about the same strong as Ultimate Tournament of Power Gohan, basically. That's pretty strong, since that's about Super Saiyan Blue pre-Tournament of Power Goku. Okay? So that's basically still pretty strong. But Goten's right behind Piccolo. And then, well, Vegeta would actually take in Trunks this time and teach Trunks how to become he taught him basically Super Saiyan God, and Trunks would get it in about 6 months, he'd get Super Saiyan God, and he trained with Vegeta, and they don't have Super Saiyan. No, they don't have Super Saiyan Blue yet, but Trunks is pretty strong now. He isn't as strong as Goten, but still pretty strong. Vegeta came out. He did learn Blue Evolution by this time, but that's about it. So that's about that, and basically, I've been saying basically a lot, but so the humans trained and Piccolo trained as well, and they got exponentially stronger until Zeno actually called the Tournament of Power. And this isn't going to be the preliminaries, this is actually the real deal. They got their team ready, and they're pretty strong right now. Pretty strong. And Goku, when he trained, he finally mastered Super Saiyan Blue 4, Evolution, Limit Breaker, Kaioken times 20. That's a handful. That's a handful. That's his max power, ultimate power, and he's pretty strong. And then when Team 7, or not Team 7, when Universe 7 finally arrived, they saw the gods building the arena, and the tournament finally began. And Gohan was the leader yet again. He did challenge Goku and lost, but it was a pretty good fight. And he has Blue now. He has Blue, Super Saiyan Blue, and he also has Ultimate on that, so he has Ultimate Blue. But besides that, they all split up. Gohan decided to say not to stay together since they might get knocked out all together, but we should split up in small groups. And the small groups would be Vegeta and Goku together, Gohan, Goten, and Piccolo together, Android 18, Android 18, 17, and 16 together, and Tien Shinhan and Piccolo, basically. Tien and Piccolo together. So they basically split up, and this whole thing was a breeze for Team Universe 7. Universe 7 destroyed Universe 9, and then other universes, and they were obliterating. And Kale and Caulifla, Goku had fun teaching them Super Saiyan, but then he basically destroyed them, and they were gone. Then they didn't even have time to fuse, and they were immediately gone. And Goku has been training with Whis to use Ultra Instinct, so make sure to keep that in mind. So basically, Goku is probably the strongest one there. And Goku would run into Jiren, and Jiren would fight Goku, and Goku and Super Saiyan God alone would just single-handedly crush Jiren. Jiren would go up to his full power, and yet that isn't enough. And Jiren would still try to fight and knock out, or kill, basically trying to knock out other people, but just trying to distract Goku, but that doesn't really work. And Goku uses the God Bind and basically Kamehameha waves Jiren off the stadium at point blank range, and Jiren was knocked out. Soon enough, Toppo had to basically fight Vegeta in his God form, God of Destruction mode, but that wasn't enough, and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution would knock Toppo out, and basically the whole arena would go dead silent, as everyone was basically not going to be destroyed this time, since Zeno wanted to challenge Goku here and now in the Tournament of Power, basically. As Zeno would come down with his soldiers, or his guards, as Goku would look at Zeno, and he would ask, Zenny, what are you doing, Zenny? As, Zeno would say, well, son Goku, I want to challenge you to see how strong you've gotten, and I want to see if you can keep up with me. As he basically, his eyes, well, Zeno's eyes, turn complete white, as there's an upside down, basically an upside down kind of an A, but with no lines in the middle, basically appears, and yes, Zeno's full power, basically his final form mode. His final form, he basically fuses with his guards, and as he turns into his final form, and his power would shake that entire void that they were in. And Zeno would say, well, son Goku, let's see what you got. And Goku was terrified. This power was immense. The strongest power that he's ever seen. as every single person who was in the stands, basically was watching in fear, and Goku basically told everyone from his universe to basically go to the stands, and they listened immediately. And Goku would start roaring, as you can hear a deafening roar as he powers up to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Super Saiyan 4 Blue Evolution, Limit Breaker, Kaioken times 20, actually Kaioken times 100, as he starts fighting Zeno, and Zeno was only using 10% of his power, and he's still overpowering Goku. Overpowering Goku by a lot. Okay, a lot here. Goku is demolished pretty quickly. And I'd say Ultra Vegeta was born, but he doesn't have Ultra Instinct at this time, but he did train. And Zeno basically palm strikes his chest and says Almighty Pulse and blasts him straight through the stadium arena. And he basically created massive rocks from thin air and basically slammed Goku into those, making Goku cough out a lot of blood. As Goku landed on one of these little circle sphere rocks, as Goku basically is in base. He's basically dropped out of his ultimate power, basically. He dropped out of that, and now is lying on that rock, completely unconscious. And Zeno was pretty disappointed in Goku, but he says to Goku, well, I might have just got my hopes up a little too high, mortal. But it's time for me to take back that ability that I gave you. As he is about to touch Goku, Goku would basically stand up. He would stand up, and Zeno was about to touch him, but Goku's hair would spike up in a different angle, as Goku would use Omen, basically Ultra Instinct, as he dodges this, as he teleports behind Zeno, and basically surprises Zeno a little bit, as he gets knocked in, basically punched twice, and Zeno didn't basically flinch. He just stand there silently as Goku awakens Ultra Instinct. But this time, it is an Omen. This time, he full awakens the Mastered version. He awakens Mastered, as he was training with Whis a lot, and Whis told him the secret of becoming stronger using Ultra Instinct. So he basically is using Mastered at this point. As him and Zeno began their clash, and Zeno was having a great thrill in this battle. He wasn't going all out, but Goku made him use 40% of his power, which is a lot, mind you, a lot. And Daishinkin, or the Grand Priest, watching this, would be impressed to see that a mortal can bring out such power in Zeno. And Goku would probably be even weaker than the Daishinkin. Because basically the Grand Priest is incredibly strong and is an advisor of Zeno, and he isn't stronger than Zeno, but he's pretty strong. So if I compare Goku with the Daishinkin himself, Goku would probably be about 95% of Daishinkin, basically, in Mastered. And that's pretty strong, if you think about it. That's pretty strong. But Daishinkin has another form, and his full power form basically would be at 100%, but Goku would be 95% of that. So it could go either way here. It could go for Goku's favor, or it can go for Daishinkin's. So it's basically just who is actually stronger, and the Daishinkin is pretty surprised that this mortal can rival Zeno at 40%, because that's way stronger than anyone's ever pushed Zeno before. So yeah, Goku still get rocked by one of Zeno's attacks and gets hit with an almighty pulse again, getting slammed into but this time he actually dodges, and actually basically when he's falling through the void, he yells Kamehameha as he blasts a great Kamehameha wave straight towards Zeno, as he basically says almighty pulse, and just he easily swipes that away basically. And Goku basically tries to attack Zeno one more time, but it's over. Zeno finishes him off, going full power for just a split second and punches Goku straight in the gut, knocking him out. And Goku drops out of Mastered Ultra Instinct into base. As Goku did fight Zeno and gave him a great thrill, but that was it. That was all that Goku could do. But Zeno basically turned back into his normal form, saying, "Well, son Goku, you are incredibly strong, but you should get stronger in the near future." So that's basically the end. The end of the Tournament of Power, and the Moral arc comes next, or maybe the Broly arc. But since Frieza's dead, that isn't gonna happen. So we totally skipped the Broly arc, and the movie, and we skip straight towards the Moral arc. And Goku has been training a lot. He can access Mastered incredibly quickly, and oh wait, 40%. That means he's strong. Yeah, he's stronger than Whis this time. He is stronger than Whis. That's impressive. And Whis was his teacher, and Whis would have to go all out basically. And that's pretty strong too, but that's nothing compared to Dai Shinken. So Whis would basically train with Goku a lot, making him master Ultra Instinct to even a greater degree. And Moro was unleashed from basically the galactic, I don't know what they were called again. The galactic snow, I don't know, the galactic space pool? No, what were they called again? I know they had galactic in them. The Galactic Patrol, yeah, there it is, the Galactic Patrol. Their name was the Galactic Patrol. I had a brain fart for a second. But the name was the Galactic Patrol, and Moro escaped, and Goku had to deal with him since they went to New Namek. So Goku already went to Ultra Instinct. He just used Omen, and he wiped the floor with Moro. Moro was dead instantly. Moro couldn't do anything about it. And Goku did learn something from Beerus. He learned the Hakai. And this Hakai isn't perfect because he's using Ultra Instinct, and you can't really combine those two forms together because God power and angelic power don't really mix very well. But he still managed to do it, and he eradicated Moro. So that's basically it for Moro. And I'll be leaving it off there for the movie. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you want me to continue Goku becoming stronger, then nah, I'm just tripping, guys. I'm just joking. He's actually not done yet. You actually thought I was gonna end it right there? Bro, no. I'm not ending it right there. I was just joking. But Goku continued training and became stronger, and he challenged Zeno again. And this fight was spectacular, but Goku still wasn't able to match Zeno's power. So Goku's life goal right now would be to basically defeat Zeno and be his rival. And he made Zeno in that fight go 55% of his power, which is incredible for a mortal. So he continued training with Whis. To be honest, he started training with the Grand Priest and all the other angels in their free time, basically, because Goku is that strong. And well, he did come visit Earth a lot, and he did get a job. He joined the Galactic Patrol, basically, because the Galactic Patrol is basically an incredible job, and it pays a lot. And Chi-Chi would probably like that a lot. Chi-Chi likes that since he got a job and everything, so that would basically cover all their house payments, basically. All their payments that they need to do, and they'd basically be rich. And that's how Goku will end in this what if story. So yes, now I'll actually be leaving it off this time. So I'll be leaving it off here, guys. So hopefully you guys actually enjoyed this movie, and comment down below if you guys want me to do more movies just like this one with my other series. But without further ado, well, I'll see you guys in the next what if story. Peace.